Good afternoon. Hola, hola, ¿qué pasola? We are rolling southbound, Interstate 15, coming into Las Wages. Orale, Las Wages. We're on our way to California, but we have an aching in our heart too, because we're going to California with an aching in our heart. The aching in the heart is because we're going to California. The traffic going into the communist country of California it goes from 3 lanes to 2 lanes in Primm, Nevada, right at the border. And it is about 25 miles deep, purple and red. So we're going to do something different. We're going to go 95 to Searchlight, turn right, head west. Well, we take the 515, we go south to Searchlight and then go west, and then we could come out there at Zizek's Road, but I don't want to do that. I wanted to go, once we get to Nipton, go southwest again over to 40 and just cut it that way. I think this will work out. We're going to find out, because you guys are riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike, so you'll be able to see it as well. Anyway, I'll just give you a heads up of what we're doing. So we'll see you in a bit. Way to Boulder City, we turn right on 95 south towards Searchlight. But we don't want to deal with that traffic. That long purple red line. Clock be tick, 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 ticking away. Normally I can make 58 cents in a mile, and I'd be making 58 cents in a quarter mile in 10 minutes. See it, Searchlight. Touching down in Searchlight. 3,540 feet. I think we make a right-hand turn here. Yep. Right turn, Clyde. Going over to Nipton via 164 instead of dealing with all that backed up traffic. God, I don't know if it's a state trooper. I don't think it's a state trooper. I think it's just the police. Maybe it is a trooper. There's a couple of them. Everybody's come speeding into town. What are you doing, y'all? I-15 is 32 miles, but we're not going to do that. Like Nipton is 22, and then 15 is 22. We're not going to do that. Looks like that bread truck did the same idea we got. We can do whatever we want. But like I said, we'll beat all the traffic and come out there. I know some of you might have been on this. I think it's not by Zizek's Road. It's just after you pass the scales and the whatchamacallit, agricultural police, tomato cops, Joshua Tree Highway. We will go after Nipton. We will go southwest and work our way to Highway 40 through the desert. Yep, that's the way we're going to do it. We're totally going to blow out 15 freeway. But, and then we'll come in, it'll be the 40 to the 15 freeway in Barstow, but we won't, we'll connect it there, and then we'll have to deal with traffic from there on out. But it won't be as bad. I'm sure it's a pretty busy highway right now. I guarantee you it's not like this all the time. It's a bit rough, bouncy. I don't think I should post this video and give away my secret. How to get out of Vegas to SoCal on a holiday traffic. Anyway, we'll see you in a bit. Get a good glimpse of the Joshua trees. After all, it is the Joshua Tree Highway. It's amazing how much different this is compared to Lost Wages trip between Primm, or between the foothills of the mountains just west of Primm and to Vegas. It's just like flatland desert. Of course, we are up in the hills. We are climbing right now. Never been on this highway, and if you never have, you could say you rode it while riding shotgun. And I go, who are you riding shotgun with? Say, Mountain Man Mike. He takes us all over the country. Actually a beautiful highway. 164 Nevada, from Searchlight to the California border. think we're fixing to hit the big valley where you will see the 15 freeway. I know we'll see it here eventually because I've seen it before. Even though I've never been on this highway, I know what the ground looks like. We just got to get to the point to where we see it. I think after a couple of these there hills. Well, they got some snow up here. See in the shady parts. That big valley. Bouncy, bouncy road. A lot of power lines up here. So if you look over there to like 1 o'clock, you might be able to see the highway wrapping around that mountain there. That's Interstate 15. Nice big valley. Look a lot. So we're going to go to the left. To the left, to the left. Remember them solar towers? If I adjust my steering wheel, the solar towers are over there. Sure, DOT's over there probably thinking, look at that semi trying to go around our scales. Well, actually, I'm not trying to. I'm doing it. We're light. I have nothing to hide. If they pull me over and say, why are you going around the scales? I'm not going around the scales. I'm going around the traffic. The insane communist traffic. This is a pretty steep hill. It would help if I use the Jake a little bit. Little town of Nipton. And now, welcome to California. This is a sick view coming this way. I like it a lot. And see, we're going to go left over there. and work our way to the Interstate 40. Yeah, so right there, just a little bit to the right, about 1230-ish, is Interstate 15. You can see it on the hill over there. I've often seen this town because you can see that road coming off of the curve up there. That road comes in, it comes off I-15 and points right over here. I always wanted to come over here, but I never thought I'd do it during work. I figured I'd have to make a trip in the caddy. But nope, look at, here we are. Thanks to the traffic making me dig deep into alternate routes. Actually kind of a cool little town so far. I could dig it. It's got great views. There's old Oldsmobile over here. There's a couple old cars, an old panel wagon. Looks like an old shoebox Ford. I think that's an Oldsmobile right there, that pink one, but I'm not sure. Could be a Cadillac for all I know. I can't tell with all that paint. Well, there ain't nothing here except for a few old cars. That is cool. That octopus, gotta like that. So that will take you to the 15, but we're not going there. We're going here. My kind of highway. Look. We'll get traffic for sure. You can't go into California without traffic, but the traffic we get will be going down Cajones Pass. Or as better known, Cajon Pass. What does it say here? No fuel for 100 miles. So, we just turned onto Morning Star Road, going to Cima, C-I-M-A. and then Kelso on over to Highway 40. If you got it, a truck brought it. We got off that other highway that said no commercial vehicles. So they can't do that. You can't shut down an open highway. It's California, though. So anyway, well, we're off that highway, so I don't know if commercial vehicles were for that highway. There's no sign for this highway. So, we'll just take it like that. California wants to constrict trucks to one set of highways. Every other state, you can go wherever you want. But like I said, there's nothing on this road, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll argue it if I do get a ticket. They need to put it in the books. Going from Vegas to Barstow, it's a little bit longer this way, but not much. But if I was to go to Searchlight and then over to the 15 right there past Nipton, it would have been longer. I probably would have beat the time, but because of the time, I would probably be sitting for a good hour and a half. But going from Barstow to Vegas, they come out to about the same. I have to actually do the math, but I know it's close. But anyway, a nice part of California you don't get to see too often. Well, one time I came down this road at night in my 65 Mustang, and first couple rabbits were like, we're teenagers, or not teenagers, young adults, trying to hit the rabbit. And then it was like trying to avoid them. It's like, let's try to avoid the rabbits. There were so many of them jogging across the highway at night. Absolutely wild. Old Bessie is just filthy AF. I need to get her a bath. Joshua trees again. Somebody pulled over there, caught fire, caught a bit of the fauna on fire. Sometimes people's thought process puzzles me. This guy looked behind my trailer and kept poking his head out. Could see it was a nice straight road ahead of us. I wasn't sure if he should pass me or not. When that's what he wanted to do. There's a cell tower out here. I think this is the town of Sema. Kelso Depot. Where's Sema Road? I don't want that. Damn headset fell off the top. Sorry about that. It's a nice place the guy's got here. See, the Sema store. He also had commercial vehicles in his yard. These Joshua trees are pretty tall out here. This is where you don't want to pull onto the shoulder unless you see gravel. You pull off into that shoulder and you just sink. Adventures in trucking. This is absolutely a pretty freaking awesome road. We're really light, so we don't worry about any bridges and stuff like that, but like I said, I went through the book. I didn't see no restrictions other than the temporary digital one. But that was for that other highway. of dips in this road. Some of them are washouts, so the water just runs right over them. Like this one right here. So we'll get up here in a bit and then we'll turn left, and I assume go through where that smoke is coming out of that canyon up ahead. It's probably just haze, but it's almost a postcard picture right there. I think we're going to turn left to get to the 40 freeway. You want to be careful cruising through here in a thunderstorm. You never know when a wall of water will be coming through one of them drain pipes. So we'll go over here to Kelso, turn left. That highway that we turn left on in Kelso goes from Baker to the 40 freeway. Woohoo! That looks like sand dunes up ahead there. The 1 o'clock mark. Like a big old huge pile of sand dune. Yeah, so I was right. I took a quick look-see at the map, and you can see that haze there coming out of the canyon. It's like the mountains to the left, and then there's haze, and there's mountains behind it. So I'm pretty sure we're going to turn and go down that way. Here's another whoop-de-doo. Woo-hoo! Get that stomach. pretty sure that is like sand, and I'm sure they would have some type of off-road park with it. So, go into Kelso with the semi truck, get pulled over. That's what happened to Mountain Man Mike. The problem, she said though, the officer, because I told her, I go, I was Searchlight and I was going to go to the 15, and then I decided to just weasel my way down through here to the 40. She goes, yeah, I understand that. She goes, but there is a sign on the highway up there. She goes, you know, rectangular signs? I go, oh yeah, I know those. I wave this guy on because he's a clown. So I go, yeah, I know those are warning signs that tell you information, tell you what, blah, blah, blah. She goes, yep. I go, but I didn't see anything. She goes, it's missing. I go, oh. I didn't see no signs. Usually there's signs. I thought it was kind of odd, though, that there was nobody. She goes, weren't you puzzled that you were the only one out here? And I go, a little bit, but I suppose now that I look back at it, couldn't be the only one that thought of it, right? And she goes, that sign's missing, so I'm just going to give you a warning. And she goes, well, because your trucks would tear up this road. That's why we don't want no trucks out here. And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm light, though. That's why, you know, if I was heavy, I probably would have just got back on the freeway right there by Nipton. You know? And she's like, she goes, I see you're from Grand Lake. It was after she ran me and did all the other stuff, I guess. And I go, yeah. And she goes, Rocky Mountain National Park is right there. I go, yeah. And she goes, you wouldn't drive your semi through there? I go, no, they have gates. You can't get in. I go, I have driven a commercial truck in the national park before, Rocky Mountain National Park, but it was construction related, and I was taking a pump truck up to the Alpine Center. Well, yeah, you get special permissions for, yeah. I'm like, yeah, but I go there, I didn't, you know, there's no gate here. And she goes, well, since you're from out of town, or out of state, and our sign's down. I'm just going to give you a warning today. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Because in the commercial driving field, I mean, even a warning will get you points. It goes against your driving record. It goes against the company's driving record. It's really a messed up thing, actually. You know, it's like, give me a verbal warning, not a written warning, because the written warning, even though there's no fine or anything like that, it still goes against you because they wrote it down. But anyway, she goes, I'm just going to give you a warning. And I go, a verbal warning? She goes, well, yeah. What do you mean? And I told her about that. She goes, no, there's no paperwork involved. I'm just going to let you, you know, slide on this one. Because you've been cooperative and everything. I go, well, absolutely. I don't, you know. Had I known this was like a restricted to commercial vehicles, because it's kind of like a national park, there's no way I would have taken it. She goes, yeah. And she goes, I'm from Grand Lake too. I'm like, what? Well, I was stationed up there. I go, through the Forest Service? She goes, yeah. I go, at the cottages over there by the entrance to out of Grand Lake. She goes, yep. I go, wow. She goes, I loved it there. And I go, yeah, it's nice. I go, and she goes, I had a little cabin and blah, 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 it's going on. And I'm like, yeah, I go, I used to, you guys had some roll-off containers over there for trash. And I used to go hit those for the Park Service. And actually, I went into Rocky Mountain National Park a lot with a commercial vehicle, roll-off, for their trash, to haul their trash out. They had bear containers. But there's another time I went all the way to the top with a pump truck through concrete at the Alpine Center. So I had to bring the cement trucks up there and pump the concrete over the building to the other side, which you couldn't get to because there's like a big old cliff. But that was, you know, you're instructed to go up there, so it wasn't like this. I go, well, yeah, I thought it was kind of odd. The road seemed a little sketch, but it, you know, it was a sign problem. Now you know, don't ever go with a semi on this highway. Now I gotta debate whether or not I'm gonna post this video. Maybe I should as a public service announcement, right? Maybe I will. Because it's got some great footage as far as scenery and stuff. I already got busted, so to speak. I got pulled over. I mean, I coming into Kelso there, and I was about ready to start filming. And I seen the car. She had like a white Suburban or one of them, you know, type vehicles. And she's come. I could see her coming around the corner, sort of. It was kind of like a dog leg. And all of a sudden I see these lights come on. I'm like, she pulled somebody over? And there's nobody around but me. And so I get up closer to her. She's like putting her hand out the window, pull over. So I know earlier in the video I said don't park on the side of the road unless you see gravel. Like right here I would park because you can see the gravel mixed in. You can tell it's kind of packed. You have to be careful. But anyway, I just pulled over. It was a little bit wider over there, but it was me she was after. So yeah, we'll make this video a public service announcement. Don't do what I'm doing right now. don't try this at home, or don't try this on your own, something to that effect. I don't know. I haven't gotten a ticket in a long time, and I don't want to get any. You know, and I was just sitting there when she took my license, you know, and was headed back to the to her truck, and I'm just like, man, you know, I'll just pay the fine, whatever it is, I'll just pay it, you know. And I'm not so much worried about the fine as it is the strike on my record, and then have to deal with the safety department, quality. And then another thing is too, it's like I lose my safety bonus to boot. You know, you're like $500 every quarter if you're safe. And that little ticket right there, I would have had to pay a fine of who knows how many hundreds. And then I lose that too. So that could have been upwards of $1,000 deal. It's kind of, you know, that pissed me off a little bit about that, but what also upset me was the strike on my record, which is now non-existent. So I mean, well, I didn't get a strike. Thank God. I didn't want to deal with that. Good place though for your car. You can just put through your car. You have no issues. Kind of a neat area. I was going to ask her for sanctuary status. Well, she pretty much gave it to me though, because I'm out of stater. This almost looks like a movie backdrop. She gave me a map. I'm gonna have to look at that map again. And she was all like, don't pay attention to Google Maps stuff. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't use GPS. I use Google Maps. I go, but I'm just looking at the roads. I ain't looking at nothing else. And I go, and then I looked at my atlas. Oh, it's in there. It's on our website and everything else. I'm like, well, yeah, but I don't get on the website. Try to find that information. It's like really hard. Sometimes it's really hard to find that information. It's like, it'll be, like you look in the book, it'll be restricted to semis. Okay? Go find it. Go find what it's restricted. Why is it restricted to semis? I've done this before. I've actually had to call the police, the state police. And I'm like, look, what's the problem? Can I take my truck this way? Well, let's see. It just says it's restricted. And you come to find out it's a width restriction. So you could take your semi-truck on it, but you just can't be over, you know, standard weight of width of like 8 feet, you know, or 10 feet. You can't go over 10 feet because, you know, wide loads and stuff like that. But anyway, trying to find that information sometimes is just horrendous. And not fun at all. So So actually the best bet would be when that traffic is really blocked up like that is take 95 down to 40. 40 on into Barstow. This is an absolutely gorgeous day today. And the side of her truck said like National Forest Ranger, something like that. Actually, she was a cop for sure. What, tree cop? Is that what they call them? Tree cops? What do they call it? Tree cop. A tree cop is a National Forest officer. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Don't go down this highway in a semi. Even though I'm doing it right now. Yeah, our sign is missing. We're taught to read the signs. Okay, so we'll call it good. There's Highway 40 right there in front of us. Thanks again for riding shotgun with your driver, Mountain Man Mike. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next time, enjoy. Peace.